Hello everybody and welcome back to Willowier. So today we are doing not so much a review. I am doing a little experiment to see what games are good for a 4-year-old. Between 4 and 6 years old, I would say. But I had tested this with my son Blaze, who is 4.5. And he did surprisingly well on all of these. So this is my third time trying to voice over this thing before I finally gave up and started doing it with the gameplay instead. So this is Streets of Rage, a controversial game for kids of his age, I am sure, because parents might be concerned with things like the beat 'em up, and there are weapons and things of that nature. There's even knives that you can throw. There is no blood, there's no gore, no swearing, no bad language at all, and nothing that you could read that would be bad that I am aware of either. So, in my opinion, the game is perfectly fine. He has not tried to copy anything that he's seen, and he's actually had a really fun and good time with this. Some things that you could teach your kid if they're going to play this is if they hit buttons when they get thrown like that, they can actually get back up. There is a special power that you can use once per life. There is jump kicks like I just did there, and there's also the ability to throw your enemies, kick and punch your enemies. There is even a special move you could do if somebody is behind you where you hit two buttons, not the special button I found out on accident, you'll see that here soon, where you hit both buttons at the same time and you kick backwards in case anybody's got behind you. Oh, you can also throw enemies off of yourself if they grab onto you or whatever. Yeah, this is where I accidentally use my special. Trying to button mash, or button test mash, slash whatever. Anyway, this game is very straightforward. You fight all of the enemies on the screen, and you make your way to the boss at the end of the stage. The first boss is actually really easy and not too bad at all. The second boss, however, which I will show here very soon, that boss is, oh man, is that boss hard. That is where I can see why some parents would be a little upset about this game, because it's a lot more aggressive of a boss, I guess you could say. A lot more violent. But here, these two enemies here on the second level now, I fast forwarded. The second level here, those enemies there are, oh, so annoying to try and beat. At least for me. And the boss is coming up now, so you can see what I was talking about. There he is, the cat boss. The cat boss I would definitely recommend using your special on, because he even kicks my butt. There are ways to beat him that make it easier, but I was fooling around by this point, so I didn't have a lot of health left. The blades on his hands that he's striking you with are why I think some parents might have some concerns over it. Because obviously, you know, you're getting blades to the face and stuff, so, you know, it's aggressive. But once you get used to it, it's not so bad to beat, at least. It's really hard, but not too bad to beat if you know what to do. Blaze surprisingly managed to get to level 4. I was very impressed by this, and he didn't die until he fell into a hole, unfortunately. Having some issues with the Streets of Rage recording, so we're going to try this a different way, where I just voice while I play the game instead. So, to sum up the other one, Streets of Rage, he did really good, got to level 4, I believe, fell in a hole and died on that one, but he had a lot of fun playing that game. So, we are now going to move on to Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Another game that I knew he was going to like. I mean, he's played it before, but the last time I remember him playing it, he could barely do this. Like, he would just keep running back into the wall like this. And that was as far as he could get. So, now, he has gone and played it a couple of times since then. And he still enjoys this game massively. Obviously, he can't go quite as fast as me or another, you know, adult would be able to, or even an older kid. But he did decent, in my opinion. Him and his eldest brother currently are the ones that can get the farthest in this game. And I won't lie, the place that he got stuck in this game, it makes sense. Because he got stuck on the second level, not too far from the boss. With this game, it took some trial and error and some practice to get down what he needed to do. But once he learned what he needed to do, where he needed to go, and how to beat the boss, which is something that all four of the boys struggled with for some reason. When it came to the boss of the first level, I don't know if it was just getting the hang of, you know, he had to go and time his jumps to land on the enemy. Might very well be that, you know, they're young kids. They're having a hard time comprehending that you need to properly time something. That is my assumption. And so, once he learned how to properly time those jumps onto the boss, he had absolutely no problem getting through both of these without dying or even getting hit. So as you can see, this boss here, really simple. Perfect starter boss for kids. They knew what they were doing when they made this game. Oops. Well, that was dumb. I don't know why I did that. So, one thing that I can say actually did stump all of them at first. Wow, I am just not paying enough attention today. One of the things was that right there. The spine coming out and attacking like that in the end is what got Lucian a lot of times. Lucian's my 9-year-old, but you know, back then he played this game as well. But once he figured that out, it was no problem for him at all. I'm just going to try and get myself to the place that Blaze had a hard time with and call it good there. I just want to show you guys exactly what I mean by it makes sense that he would have a hard time. I've been actually instructing him a little bit on it the past couple of days so that he could figure out how to actually get past it. And he kind of, sort of got part of it. I'll just show you guys. Alright, so this spot right here, this is where he had the hard time. And it makes sense because you have to time this jump just right, which he can get onto this one. But it's this one I have not seen him find a way to get onto yet. This spot right here. And this here, after I got him past that, because I was trying to teach him how to do it, and I was like, you know what, I should probably teach him this part as well. This one as well. He died on this one quite a few times, but I did a save state so I could get him some practice on it. And I had to teach him patience and be like, hey, you just gotta wait, jump, wait, jump, wait, jump. But then as soon as his excitement took hold after he got up here, he's all like, I'm gonna run, I'm gonna run, I'm gonna... Oh no! And that is where he died. Alright, now we are on Golden Axe. So, this one, Blaze decided he wanted to play as the dwarf. This is another Sega Genesis game like the past two. And basically, you are a warrior who is trying to go and defeat Death Adder. Now, this game is one of those ones I also thought was going to be a really big challenge for him. And I was partially right. He did decent. I believe he got to very near level 3. I'm also finding it harder to do this game while talking for some reason. But he got to about level 3. He beat these two here without getting hurt, and then I tried to show him how to do that run thing I just did, and I messed them all up. But he did pretty good before then. It was this right here I was trying to teach him how to do, and I messed it up for him. But he did pretty good afterwards. He was able to take out this little dude, and he was able to figure out how to use his magic. He figures these games out a lot faster than I would have thought. He even stole that thing and used it all the way through the boss. Again, I was rather impressed by how he did it. Like, he didn't even fall off like I am. He kept this from right here, didn't get hit once from this point all the way to the boss. Alright, so I don't really know what else to say about this. It's got a bit of aggressiveness to it, so again, caution is advised. if you have impressionable children. And these guys here, he didn't struggle on these guys at all. I remember when I was a kid, I used to struggle on these all the time. These ones are hard. But I developed a little way of doing things. Oh, I can't get on it. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Wah. So as you can see, these guys, they take a lot of health. And they have a lot of health and they take a lot of health. This part I was actually surprised about as well, because these little dudes, they go pretty fast, and he was able to go and take this thing out without even trying. Like, he completely demolished that little guy in just a couple seconds. And when Lucian first played this, for example, he was never able to catch those little guys. And this level here, as you can imagine, is where he ended. He didn't have... I'm trying to base the fun level compared to the other games he had played. Compared to other games that he played, this one was not one of his favorites. He's like, it's not bad, but I don't want to play it anymore. So, you know, not the reaction that I had as a kid, but when I was a kid, I also had a lot less to work with. Just trying to get to the point where he finally died, so you can see where he managed to get to. Whoopsies. I used to like to go to the edge and make them run off. Alright, almost there. Sorry for the quiet moments. This game, it makes me struggle. He really struggled with the fireball dragon. That one he didn't struggle so much with, but the fireball dragon completely demolished him. And I think it's because he managed to get this dragon. Well, that wasn't very fair. Yeah, I couldn't even... That, and he'd also used his magic the first time, so it did some damage. It was this part right here, after this little dude. And he struggled on this. He fought them and fought them. He didn't give up. He started to get really frustrated, though. Okay, so I do believe that he beat these ones. Yeah, because the other things haven't come up yet. Whoopsies. Wasn't paying attention. Yep, this right here. There's the fireball dragon. These are the ones that killed him. He had no magic left. And the fireball dragon, every single time he tried to get back up, it would just shoot him right back down. He couldn't figure out how to get around it. And that's where he got killed off. I don't think he killed a single one of these guys. Yes, Mickey Mania, one of the best games ever created on the Sega Genesis, if not the best in my opinion. This one was amazing. Just real quick, I did try to have him play the Lion King on here, but it didn't work, and I'm not sure why it didn't work. Anyway, I put this game like all the other ones on normal, not on easy, because I wanted to see a genuine try of his. And I can't say that he did great on this one. This one was more of a frustrating one. He had fun, but this part here, he died right here because he didn't know to hit this thing, and even after I told him, he for some reason couldn't figure it out. And he would keep going and jumping on that and opening that back up and then walking back into it again, and he died there quite a few times. I gave him a lot of tries on this one. This spot oddly only hit him once or twice. The cat killed him twice. He figured out to go and do this. He got stuck down there where the cat fell. And, yeah, he didn't like that too awful much. The chickens killed him once. And this part, he kept jumping into the water, trying to, you know, make the jump across like this instead of actually going on the box. And he just kept doing this. So he did, after a really, really long time, figure out to go and use the box to get across. And like I said, it took a while. He never fully figured out how to properly use those. And he didn't die here, but he definitely got hit here every time. Like, a bunch. And this right here, he just kept trying to jump across. And even when he got here, he still missed and jumped across and died. So that's as far as he got on Mickey Mania. But that being said, he did seem to like it a little bit. But I think he's going to need a lot more practice with this kind of game. I mean, this is not an easy game by any means. I mean, first level, once you're used to it, yeah, you can do this whole level without getting hit if you really wanted to. And there, I'm not trying. That's why I'm dying. I'm not trying. I'm just playing around. But if he had more time on this one, I think it might be alright. This is definitely like, you know, they need to have more of a comprehension of platforming for this kind of a game. But that said, it was still a really great game. Really great watching him play it. And who knows, maybe he'll come back to it again in the future. Alright, next up we have Pugsy. There ain't really a lot that I can say about this one, unfortunately. As much as I personally enjoyed this game, he tried Junior first, and then went to this afterwards. Yeah, he didn't really care for this one all that much, and I'm not surprised. It was like a, should I really show him this one? He did very quickly realize how to pick things up. That wasn't hard at all. And it only took one time of me explaining to him that you can, you know, grab onto ledges and pull yourself up before he figured out how to do that, no problem. This game is very kid-friendly in some ways, but in other ways, it can be very confusing for young children. For example, here, he died here repeatedly because he couldn't figure out how to properly aim the gun. He did get past it eventually, and this is where, you know, I thought he was going to get stuck, but no, after I showed him once how to do it, actually, he did it better than I just did. He did it on his, like, first try, after I showed him what to do. And it was this next level where he's like, I don't like this game anymore, it's too hard. So, I mean, maybe if he was like 5 or 6, he'd be ready for this one. So, I completely understand why this would be hard for a child, and I would not entirely recommend it. If they're 6 years old, I think that should be perfectly fine. But 5 years old, not so much. I'm just messing around here, by the way. But, yeah. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Pugsy. Like I said, it's a really great game. He had fun. He figured out how to open that chest, no problem, but not quite the right age. And here we have a game that needs no introduction. Mrs. Pac-Man. I put him on normal on this and set him on his way thinking he would do just fine, and I was wrong. He has a really hard time with the concept of using the D-pad, and the analog stick for this game really does not work that well. So unfortunately, he was not able to even beat level 1. That said, he actually enjoyed this game a lot. Like, he did not want to stop playing when I finally said, alright bud, you've died about 20 or 30 times, I think it's time we check out one of the other games on the list. But like I said, he had a lot of fun with this, and I bet you after some time goes by, he'll probably get really, really good at it. So here we have another game on the Sega. A game I was not intending on having him play. But he wanted to play it because it was Jurassic Park and he wanted to play dinosaurs. I knew very well that this was going to go badly and that it was only going to take a couple of seconds before he was all like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. And at first, it wasn't as bad because he ran up to this thing, he's like, I'm going to shoot the dinosaur, and starts shooting the dinosaur and getting his butt kicked by the dinosaur like that. And then he's just jumping on it and shooting it and getting completely destroyed. And I was like, buddy, you're not supposed to attack the good dinosaurs, you just jump over them. And he got to there. I don't remember. I don't think he actually made it past this. I'm pretty sure he stayed right there and never made it ahead of there. No, he didn't. He didn't get over this far. So, yeah, that was literally as far as he could get, and it goes down as the no, I don't like this game, I don't want to play this ever again kind of category. So, yeah, that's where this one ended. So, this game here is another Sega Genesis game. Who would have guessed at this point? I did mostly Sega Genesis games, but don't worry, there are also Nintendo and Super Nintendo on here as well. This is The Jungle Book, another one of the games that I had when I was about 6 or 7 years old. Somewhere's around there anyway. Now, this one, I fully expected him to have a lot of fun with. I thought he was going to play this and be like, yeah, this is a lot of fun. I kind of forgot that this game is a little more advanced than what you would expect for somebody that's his age. He didn't know what to do. It took him a while to figure out how to throw things like that. And yeah, the jumps, like the gaps there, he actually did decently with. And a lot of things, like he couldn't figure out how to do that part there. A lot of things, like for example, he would go into the monkey, throw the banana up, and get hit by it, which was also really hard. He could not understand the concept of throwing a banana up in the air. That was a really hard thing to get him to understand. So this game, he did like it, but he like thought it was too hard, which again makes sense. He didn't know what the actual goal of the levels were or how to get to the goal. And I didn't want to give too much away for him, so like I kind of sort of instruct him in a bit to try and see where he could go, but I didn't want to like influence the way the game is supposed to be, like his learning curves and all that other stuff. I wanted him to try and figure some of the stuff out on his own. He didn't even make it this far before he finally was like, no, I don't want to play anymore. So that is, I never realized you could see his butt crack before. That's kind of funny, actually. He ended up running back like this and going all the way back to the beginning. So, yeah. Amazing game. Probably be good for him in a year or two. But, unfortunately, he just wasn't ready for this one.